Morning peeps, I'm back again, and back sooner than I would have liked, because now I've got to sort out what to do with Gabriel, because he didn't play. Even though Timber was injured, he still didn't play. I wasn't expecting that. It's a complete disaster, especially with Saliba getting a clean sheet. So all those people that took advantage of leaks, which isn't you, is it? Because you're here because you know this is about Gabriel, and you're in the same boat as I am. You're stuck with a prick. And you've got less points than all the people that switched at the last minute to Saliba. Even though 99.9% of pre-season, they all had Gabriel, didn't they? But they're all brilliant now. They're better than us. Boasting away about their great scores. Well, we're sitting here feeling miserable because we're like 13 points behind them now. And not only that, Saliba's price is rising and Gabriel's is going down tomorrow. So we're going to have to do something about him. Question is, what are we going to do? So we're going to have a quick look, and we'll go and have a quick look through them. What am I on? I'm on the wrong page here, peeps. So I've kind of narrowing it down. So I don't know what your teams are like, but they're probably very similar to mine. And first thing we could do nothing. Just keep Gabriel. So he's going to start, isn't he? Yeah. Is he? I mean, we don't know, do we? There's talk of him going to the Middle East. Arteta's waffling on, but we don't know the real reason why he's not playing. It could be some disciplinary thing that we don't know anything about. He wouldn't tell us. It'd be a private matter. And so we just don't know, do we? We've got no idea. He's talking about changing his tactics depending on opponents. But you'd think Fulham would be pretty much like Forest, and he didn't play Gabriel then, did he? So we can't guarantee he's going to play him. Plus Gabriel's dropping in price tomorrow. So I think the first choice you can do if you want is just to go admit defeat and just get Saliba in. It doesn't disrupt the team. Saliba's going to go up in price tomorrow, so you'll immediately get a cushion from any price drops, because you'll have a plus 1.1 as soon as you buy him. So that's a good thing. You're probably going to get a clean sheet against Fulham. And the good thing is you're not going to get further behind all the Saliba owners, because once you've owned him, the damage has been done, but it's not going to get any worse, is it? So you can jump on board Saliba. And at the end of the season, when you win FPL, you're able to go back to week 1 and say, look, I didn't have Saliba, I didn't take advantage, I didn't get an unfair advantage, and I'm a champion because I'm the best player, and not because I took advantage of a leak. So you could just get Saliba. Nothing against it. He's my second choice at the moment. He's the easy one, isn't he? Just go and get Saliba. Pretty much the same price. You have to pay 0.1 more now. But it's not a huge difference. You might even get 2 rises out of him in the next week. So then you will be, when you sell him, you'll better get a profit on him. So maybe I should get Saliba, saying all this. Does sound quite appealing, doesn't it? Just to put an end to the stress. Because if you get anybody else, you're going to be constantly comparing it to Saliba's score. Aren't you? Going, oh, look, I'm even further behind these cheats because I've got so-and-so in and he's done nothing and they've got another 6 points. So you get Saliba, it ends a pain. And you can join in all the fun with them, can't you? Quite tempting, actually, isn't it? It's really doing my bloody head in, to be honest. Comparing what I would have had if I'd done the league and what I've got now, and so maybe just get Saliba in. It's the no-brainer, isn't it? You don't have to think about it. Just get him in and relax. You've used one more transfer than they've had to. But, I was saying yesterday I planned my season really well, and I think I have. Because I didn't get Pedro because I knew he was going to be a short-termer. I got Jackson in because I thought, well, I'm going to need him in game week 3. Planned everything well, but because I didn't get on the league, it's all turned to bollocks. So, anyway, he's the first option. Let's actually do it looking at the fixtures, shall we? So we'll do it that way instead. So, we've got, where are we? So that's Saliba. You get home to Fulham, home to United, where it could keep a clean sheet because United aren't the best at scoring goals, are they? Away at Everton, that could be a clean sheet. DCL's injured again already. Tottenham, you wouldn't think they'd get a clean sheet against Tottenham, but you never know. Away to Bournemouth, possible. And they've got home to City and away to Chelsea. Now, this is why I was thinking of moving one on anyway. This is why I'm not that keen to get Saliba. It would be a good painkiller to get him. And to be in the same boat as all these other people. But it's more fun to sync together, isn't it, than sync on your own. But they're not fantastic fixtures, are they, really? It would have been next week, though. It would have been a much better time to get rid of Gabriel. It would be next week. But we've had our hands forced a little bit. So what about Villa? They've got some reasonable fixtures. You can see a clean sheet at Burnley. Not so much Liverpool. And that's a bit of a problem because game week 4 is when some of the other people have bad fixtures as well. Like your Brighton defenders got Newcastle that week. So you're kind of relying on Chilwell, aren't you, really? So you're going to have to bring, I don't know, you got on your benches, that's the thing. I know I've got sod all, so could be a bit tricky game week 4. I really need somebody that's got a good fixture in game week 4. Home to Palace, away to Chelsea, home to Brighton, away at Wolves, and away. Yeah, not too bad, are they, Villa's fixtures? Who would I get? I think I've got Pau Torres in a few of my fan teams. I think he's decent enough. He's the most nailed on one, I think. Probably not as attacking as Cash and Consa. But they might not be so nailed on, especially when Moreno comes back. Right, Brentford. Bloody Brentford again. Look, Palace, Bournemouth, Everton, Forest, Burnley in the next 7. So Henry would be all right. He's got a good fixture next week. He's got a bad fixture in game week 5. So's Eustapian. Actually, this is the thing with Eustapian. He's got 2 bad fixtures in a row coming up. Which is why I was going to get rid of him. And he's got Liverpool and Man City. You see that? So he's got some bloody tricky fixtures. I know it's hard to get rid of a player that's been getting so many points. But, you know, he could haul though, couldn't he, against Bournemouth or West Ham. Double figures again. He only has to get double figures once in one of those games to kind of justify keeping him. But I've got no bench, and I was hoping to do something about that. But now I'm going to have to spend a transfer on this Gabriel. But anyway, we shall move on. Who shall we? So Henry's an option. Cheaper as well. But I think money, unless you've got Salah, money's probably not an issue, is it? Chelsea. Now Chelsea, they're what I really want. I mean, if James hadn't got injured, this would have been a no-brainer. It would have been a delight to take Gabriel out just to bring James in. It would have felt like doing something really proactive and like something that's going to fire you up the ranks, getting James in. But we haven't got James. Instead, I think we've got a lot of traps. And I think the first trap is the one whose name I'm trying to think of now, but came in for James. What's his blooming name? What is his name, peeps? Oh, I'm going to have to go and bloody look, aren't I? Gustav. No, not Gustav. Let's have a look at Chelsea. Because I think there are a couple of traps in there. Gusto, that's it. Now, he pretty will play the next couple, but James is only apparently not as injured as he thought he was, so he could be back in a few weeks. But there's a good chance Gusto gets the next 3, but it's not guaranteed. I think there's other people they can put there, especially in a game that's going to be so attacking. So Silva, a lot of Chelsea fans complaining about Silva actually. I mean, he's there for his experience, but they reckon he's getting a bit slow, and a lot of the other defenders having to help him out and stuff. And so I don't know about him. He'd be good for me because they're going to get so many corners against Luton and that, and he's the sort that can get somewhere. Old Silva. Colwell, Again, is he nailed? And we got Dizazi. I mean, if they go to a 4-4-2 again, because Colwell was like playing the left back, he doesn't have to because Cucurella's still sitting there. He hasn't had a go yet. And you'd think with him getting duffed up by West Ham, that maybe there could be some changes coming. Fofana's still out. Bradish, whatever his name is still out. But he might not be too far away from coming back. Unknown injury date. I don't think he's too far away. There's Fofana hanging about. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know really. Dizazi. Again, is he going to play every game? It's tempting to get one of them. But I can't decide which one. Puts me off. There's none that really stand out. Do you know what I mean? When you bring someone in, you want them to stand out and you want to have a clear reason why you're bringing him in. Like James would have been perfect, wouldn't he? You'd know exactly why you were getting him. Exactly what his upside was. And you'd be happy bringing him in. But I don't get that same feeling of all the other ones. It's like, this doesn't excite me. Liverpool? No, I don't think so. Everton? No. Man City. So you've got a few, Akanji or again, you've got the new one, Guardiola. A lot of people say he's going to play nearly every game. But, they don't know, do they? Every prick said that bloody Gabriel was the most nailed-on player in their 15, didn't they? So we don't know about City. Lovely fixtures, going to keep clean sheets. Defenders unlikely to get bonus points though, and or attacking returns probably. United not bad, but they've got a bad fixture in game week 4 as well, and we really don't want someone with a bad fixture in game week 4. Because Brighton have as well, so we're going to be struggling. So we need someone with a good fixture in game week 4. Now Newcastle. Now this is the person I'm thinking of picking at the moment is actually Trippier. And a lot of you won't be able to afford him, but I've got 2 million in the bank. And they've got this fixture this week, which is pretty shit, isn't it? Home to Liverpool. I'd have much rather, I was looking at bringing him in next week. And you see those fixtures aren't at all bad, are they? Brighton, Brentford, Sheffield United, Burnley, West Ham and Palace. They're not bad fixtures. And this is Trippier we're talking about. I'll show you some stats on Trippier in a minute. Because he's the one that I really want. He's the one that, only one out of all the ones we've mentioned, apart from Saliba, that I'd be happy to just bring in and play every week. Because you're going to get attacking returns, you're going to get clean sheets. And if you haven't got Salah, then there's not really too much constraints on your budget. He's 6.5 million. He's probably a bit pricey, isn't he? But unless you're getting Salah, then that doesn't really matter. And I think we're not going to be getting Salah probably for a while. Are we? They haven't got bad fixtures though, have they really? What game week's that one there? Game week 9. So I'm actually thinking of a wild card in game week 8 anyway. So am I going to get away at Tottenham? Again, it's not too bad for Salah. Home to West Ham, away to Wolves. You've got Villa. You're not going to get him this week, but yeah, you might want Salah in a few weeks. It's possible, wouldn't it? And if I get Trippier, then I'm pretty much saying that I'm not getting Salah because I wouldn't better afford him. If you go down to one of these 4.5 defenders, one of the Chelsea ones or Villa defender, then you're probably, once you've sold off Rashford or Fernandes, to one of the 6.5s, you're probably in a position to get Salah in. So that's one consideration. Tottenham, we've got Udogi, whatever his name is. Looks the best bet to bring in out of the Tottenham ones. Again, 3 good fixtures. He's playing fairly forward, I think. I haven't had a big look at his stats. He hasn't got many stats yet, has he? Because he's a new player to the Premier League. He's not super attacking. I mean, he's not like Chilwell or Trent or anything. But, you know, he's not bad. And they've got 3 good fixtures there. So what weeks of A? 6 and 7, not so great. And Brighton's aren't too bad then. So you could play Eustapian on those 2 weeks. Chelsea is still good. So you can play Eustapian, Chilwell, and Udogi. That's actually quite good. Actually, that's not bad, is it? But the only thing I'm worried about with him, they've got no Europe, which is good as well, unlike Newcastle. But the only thing putting me off him is Davis, because I'm wondering if he's going to get a rest. He seems to come off after about 70 minutes for Davis. And is Davies going to start the old game? I just don't know, do we? He has been playing well, though, old Udogi. I might try and find out in the next 24 hours, do a bit more research on him, and tap into some Spurs fans and see what they think, because if he isn't a rotation risk, that actually fits in very well. He fits in very nicely. It's only those 2 weeks there, 6 and 7, which are a bit ropey. By then, probably would have done something with my bench, so I'll have someone I can cover with for those weeks. We don't want any West Ham, and we don't want any Wolves. So we're going to have a look at some stats. And I showed you these the other day, didn't I? You go up to the best stats aren't down here on the fantasy page. Your best stats are up here on the Premier League. And you go down to stats, and you get a whole load of player stats. We're going to have a look at them. Now we're going to look at player stats. And what we're going to look at is corners taken, because I want to show you already who's on fire. So corners, we're going to click defenders. So already you can see Trippier is already up to equal second in corners, despite having played Man City and Villa, 2 good teams. He's had 6 corners already. He's always on them, both sides, takes all the corners. He takes all the free kicks as well. He's already had about half a dozen of those as well. You can't get that stat on here, I think, the free kicks. But he's on all the set plays for Newcastle. He's going to get attacking returns. I know he's played Liverpool this week. But, you know, his assist potential is very good. But I think what we'll do, we'll compare him, shall we? We'll go to another player comparison. And we shall put Trippier in. We shall search for, we'll do it last year too. Last year, we shall search for Trippier. And we'll compare him with someone good, shall we? Trent. We'll compare him with Trent. They're not the same sort of player, really. So we'll see here. Got to change that. We thought that he'd done that. No, change that to that. So you can see he played every single match last year, Trippier. I know they got Champions League this year, but I can't see him being rotated. He's a true set and forget. He only got 1 goal, but then again, Trent only got 2. He got 7 assists and Trent got 9. So he's not that far behind, is he? A couple of assists behind. But look at this, he got 14 clean sheets last year, and Trent only got 7. Yeah, Trent's 8 million, and Trippier's only 6.5. So when you compare that, he's actually not that expensive, is he? When you compare what they actually did last year. What else can we look at? So there's a lot less shots. A lot less shots off target, that's for sure. Trent had 17 off target and Trippier only had 2. What else can we look at here? I don't know what else they've got. He did 393 crosses, Trippier, whereas Trent only did 252. So he's got so many crosses, all the corners, all the free kicks. We know how good he is, don't we? We know he's not an injury risk. He's not like Chilwell or James or anything. We can stick him in and forget about him, hopefully. He started 38. He was only subbed off 7 times. Only got booked 5 times all season. It's pretty good, isn't it? So he's not a card magnet. He's not going to be arguing with a referee. And to my mind, he is the best option to bring in. If you want points and you don't want Salah and you've got the money, I think you get Trippier. Because what's the point of having all this money in the bank when you can put it on the field? I mean, I can get Trippier and still have $500,000 in the bank. Well, how do I get back, peeps? There we are. Fantasy. So I'm seriously thinking of just getting in Trippier here. I know no one else is doing it, but I don't really worry about what other people are doing. No one's going to tell you to buy Trippier. I'm not going to tell you to buy Trippier because it's just me. That's just who I'm thinking of getting. He probably won't be the highest score. You know, he'll probably get outscored by Saliba this week, won't he? Because Saliba's going to get a clean sheet. Probably bonus points. Whereas chance of Trippier getting a clean sheet against Liverpool aren't that great, are they? But I'm not just buying him for 1 week. And I could go for some like Gusto or one of these Chelsea players. It could be great for a couple of weeks. And then the other players come back and suddenly you've got someone who you need to transfer out again. Because the problem is I'm seeing very few options apart from either Trippier or Saliba or possibly Udogie. They are my top 3, I think. Yeah, I'm deciding, and it's going to have to be tomorrow because the prices are going to change tomorrow. Pretty much for sure, Gabriel's going to go down. So there's a City defender, isn't there? But can you trust them, really? If you've got a team like mine, then you've got nothing on the bench. I mean, I've got Baldock and Bayer on the bench. So it's not ideal, is it? Not ideal at all. But, you know, if I could have kept Gabriel in, then I could have just used a transfer on one of these to get someone decent in to cover the other 3 when all these fixtures change. But I've kind of got to play these 3 guys all the time. But yeah, I'm leaning towards Trippier. Still, still blooming up in the air about it though. You got the cheaper Udogie, could do well. Nice fixtures for Tottenham. Tottenham got a leaky defence, haven't they? And you've got Saliba. Again, they've got some tricky fixtures coming up though, but it does ease the pain. One less thing to worry about, isn't it? Been outscored by Saliba owners. As for the midfield, I'll still be, if it looks like Fernandes is going to drop, which he might not. But if it looks like he's going to have to go as well for me. I'm not having price droppers in my team. And I'm still looking at Foden, like I said yesterday. And I'll tell you who it's actually, my gut's telling me to get is Sterling. Because I haven't seen Sterling play as good a game as that for Chelsea for a long time. His confidence has gone and he's been playing rubbish. But that's the best I've seen him. He's still got that quick speed from a standing start, and that's been missing lately. And it's come back. You know, he could be hitting top form just at the right time. They've got 3 really good fixtures for him coming up. I can see him causing absolute havoc. I really can. I mean, he might not score much himself, but I can see assists coming. He's going to win a few penalties, I think. And he might even be taking penalties, mightn't he? So he's like nagging at me now. Fernandes to Sterling. It's a gamble. But I'm a bit disillusioned with the whole thing at the moment because of all these leaks. And I'm thinking, have a bit of fun. Take a gamble on Sterling. What could possibly go wrong? But it's Luton. It's Luton. You've got to think there's some upside there, haven't you? And then again, is he a rotation risk? You'd think not. I mean, he was their best player, wasn't he? He was their best player. It would be pretty mean to take him out when he played so well in that game. Just when he's getting his confidence back. Bloody tempting. He really is tempting me. I don't know why. I wouldn't advise you lot getting him, but because I'm feeding it for him. But I've watched a lot of Chelsea, and honestly, that's the best I've seen him play, the sharpest he's been. You know, it's taken him a while. He's had 2 games now, and I think he could be spot on, a bit like a horse, you know, having his race. 3rd race back from a spell. And that fixture, I'll tell you what, if Chelsea don't do much against Luton, my game week next week, it's going to be over before Friday's finished, isn't it? It's going to be a complete disaster. And you've got blooming City and Sheffield, so I could get punished by Foden if I get Sterling, or could get punished by Fernandes for daring to take him out when they're home to Forest. I'm bloody tempted, honestly, I am. Well, the other thing with Trippier, which is a bit of an issue for me because I'm so price orientated, is that he is dropping slightly in price. He's only minus 18% and needs another 360,000 to drop. But you wouldn't think he's going to drop in price. I know, you know, if he doesn't keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, which he won't, are people going to keep selling him? It's hard to know, isn't it? I honestly don't know who to get. Maybe it should be a Spurs defender. I don't know. I think you're all in the same boat, aren't you? I've seen very few people who actually know who to get for Gabriel. So I think a lot of people are going to keep him just because they can't be bothered to work out who to get him. Yeah, I don't know, peeps. Anyway, I'm off now. This is just a filler, this one. So, you know, I thought I'd do it because it's just as easy to think to myself and talk at the same time, you know. So, you've probably got other stuff you'd rather be watching, haven't you? But it's here anyway. And you might get an idea from some other people, you know, some of you watch some other things, they might have some other ideas. But for me, it's down to the 3, really. The Udogi Sure, I've got that wrong, haven't I? Saliba and Trippier. I'll tell you what, I'll take Fernandez out and Rashford blanks. Let's say I go, so much money I've got left. So take Fernandez out, take Rashford out, put in Foden. Be my one this week if I don't go for Sterling. So I'll put Foden in. And then let's just say I do want Salah in 2 weeks. Say Rashford really annoys me. Which isn't without question, is it? Say he blanks against Forest. So I get rid of him. And I want Salah. So I kick him out. And I put Salah in. Now, the question is, how much money have I got? Minus 0.5. So you know what that means, don't you? If I replace Gabriel with a Tottenham player instead of Trippier or instead of Saliba, then I can get Salah next week. And I can have that midfield there. Salah, Foden, Mitoma, Saka and Martinelli. And that prick's going to have to go soon too, Martinelli. So that's going to be another problem, isn't it? Having to decide whether to get rid of Rashford or Martinelli. Might end up having to take a hit somewhere along the line. Yeah, so that's worth thinking about, isn't it? That would be game week 5. Liverpool have got Wolves in that week. Tell you what, peeps, I'm going to get Udogie in. Yeah, I am. I mean, I've got just the right amount of money to do it, haven't I? Because Rashford's not going to rise in price, so I'm not going to get priced out of it. It does mean I have to get Foden before he rises in price, which means maybe tomorrow or the next day. If I'm getting Foden, I have to do it straight away. And then I have to get Salah before Salah rises in price again, which he's not going to do because he's dropping. I'm pretty sure he's dropping. See, this is why I do these videos, you see. Because I solved it while I was doing them. I went into it and I was going to say that I was going to get Trippier, and I've come out of it saying I'm getting Udogie because it gives me the flexibility to buy whichever midfielder in the game that I want, whether it's Salah, anybody. Whereas if I go for Trippier, then it's a more difficult situation. I limit myself on future moves. I'm not saying I will get Salah, but it's nice to have that option, isn't it? And I can always have Salah and someone like Botman at some point, rather than have Trippier and someone else, because I think a lot of those. I mean, is Salah really worth it though? Really? I mean, you look at the 6.5s, and I mean, they're showing them up, aren't they? Showing them up. There's a lot of them too, isn't there? Diaby, Buemo. Well, Mitoma's got bad fixtures, but there's always going to be a steady supply of them. He's another one I've got to get rid of too, isn't he? Mitoma. So that's what I was going to be getting rid of him, but it's just no blooming. it feels like there's no opportunities. Because you've got Martinelli. The other thing I was thinking of doing, to be honest with you, is just getting Saliba this week for Fulham, and then wildcarding. That was on my mind too. I've got 2 transfers. I was thinking I'll get Saliba in for Fulham, get Sterling in just for Luton for Fernandes, and then wildcard. So I think I will have a look at some wildcards actually, see what I can come up with, just in case. Because it's going to take me a while to sort this team out, because Matomi's got shitty fixtures coming up. Martinelli, and you've got Arteta waffling on about rotation non-stop. And, Trossard didn't even get on, did he, today? Saka's not on penalties anymore. Fernandes and Rashford are blooming useless. Although they're probably going to do good this week, aren't they? So I wouldn't take them out just because I might say so. But do make sure you replace them with someone who can get equally as many points. Trouble with wildcarding is always fuck it up and end up making my team worse. Because I know what'll happen. I'll take out all my Brighton players, and they're the only ones, to be honest, that have been getting many points, aren't they? That'll all backfire. Anyway, peeps, I'm off now, and I hope this has given you a few ideas, but I think what you've got to do is do what I've just done and just sit down with yourself, even record yourself. That's not a bad idea, is it? You could record yourself. You don't have to show it to people. Just get OBS or whatever, what I use, and just make a video of yourself, pretend you're talking to people, and because then you can, when you verbalise it and think about it, you come up with ideas. Whereas if you just stare at the transfer page, it doesn't really help you, does it? So anyway, I'm off now. So I've had enough. You've had enough. Everyone's had enough. And I'll talk to you all later. And hopefully there's not going to be any more need for any of these blooming what should we do with such and such videos. At least all the games have finished now. So hopefully nothing else bad's going to happen. And the other good thing with not getting a Chelsea defender and having 3 Chelsea is you might well want Balogun on your bench shortly, because there's a good chance he's going to come to Chelsea as a striker. And although he won't play very much, it'd be quite a good one to stick on your bench for a few weeks, because he will get minutes and he'll probably go up in price quite a bit too. You may even get a few games, you never know. Anyway, Pips, I'll talk to you all later. Okay then, so cheers for now, and good luck with whatever you decide. Whether you keep Gabriel or you ditch Gabriel. Everyone's got a different play style. I never tell people who to buy or whatever, because everyone's team's different, isn't it? Everything's different, and personally, I don't like losing money on players, whereas other people, they're going to be more patient. They're going to take losses on Fernandes and Gabriel and probably get lots of points at the weekend, which is, at the end of the day, points beat prices, don't they? But the trouble is, of course, with FPL, you never know in advance who's going to get the points. Anyway, Pete, I'll talk to you all later. Okay then. So, and don't forget to subscribe too. Want to get it up to 1,000. So get on with it. Hit that subscribe button. And not too many to go now, peeps. So, okay then. Cheers. I'll talk to you all later. Okay then. Bye.